Mary, a compassionate and kind-hearted woman in her mid-40s, lived a solitary life in a serene neighborhood within a quaint American town. One frigid winter evening, as she made her way home from a long day at work, she stumbled upon John, a homeless African-American man, shivering on a bench in the nearby park. The sight of him stirred deep emotions within Mary, reminding her of her brother, who had tragically fallen victim to the harshness of the streets years ago. Determined to make a difference, Mary felt an overwhelming urge to extend her hand to John. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. With a heartfelt smile that radiated warmth, Mary approached John and offered him not only a hot meal but also the comfort of a warm bath. John's initial reaction was one of skepticism and wariness, born from a life marred by rejection and prejudice. However, the sincerity in Mary's eyes melted his defenses, and he gratefully accepted her offer. Mary brought John to her humble abode, a modest two-bedroom house filled with memories of her late husband. She immediately set about preparing a steaming bath for John and provided him with clean clothes that had once belonged to her beloved husband. As John soaked in the warmth and comfort of the bath, Mary decided to make a quick trip to the market to replenish her pantry and ensure she had enough groceries for her unexpected guest. Upon returning home, Mary's heart skipped a beat, and a wave of panic surged through her when she saw a police car parked in front of her house. Her mind raced with fear and uncertainty, the serene evening now clouded with apprehension. Her thoughts swirled with concern for John, and she braced herself for the unknown, hoping her act of kindness had not led to an unforeseen crisis. Two officers stood at Mary's door, engaged in a tense conversation with John, who appeared visibly distressed as he attempted to explain his presence. Mary hurried over and, with a resolute voice, demanded to know what was happening. The officers explained that a concerned neighbor had reported a stranger in her house. Feeling indignant, Mary passionately defended John, explaining that she had invited him in for a bath and a meal. Recognizing Mary's genuine concern and understanding of John's predicament, the officers apologized for the misunderstanding and left. Turning to John, who was shaken by the ordeal, Mary reassured him with a gentle touch and encouraged him to open up about his life. John hesitantly revealed that he was a war veteran whose return home had been marred by severe trauma. This trauma had stripped him of his family, home, and dignity, leading to years of living on the streets, feeling invisible and forgotten. Deeply moved by his story, Mary's resolve to help him only grew stronger. Mary decided not just to offer John a temporary refuge, but to assist him in rebuilding his shattered life. She supported him in seeking treatment for his trauma and helped him find a job. Her unwavering compassion became the cornerstone of John's journey to recovery. Slowly but surely, John began to reclaim his self-esteem and reconnect with society. Their story soon spread through the neighborhood, inspiring others to be more compassionate and less judgmental. The bond between Mary and John grew ever stronger, proving that love and understanding could indeed transform lives. They established a daily routine. Mary would head off to work at the local grocery store early in the morning, while John stayed home, contributing by doing household chores and continuing his physical and emotional recovery. In the evenings, they would sit together, sharing stories and building a friendship that transcended their initial encounter. Each tale shared was a step toward healing, each laugh a testament to the new life they were building together. Mary's home, once quiet and solitary, now echoed with the sounds of resilience and hope. Their journey became a beacon of light in the community, reminding everyone that kindness could bridge even the widest gaps of despair. John, who had initially been withdrawn and reserved, slowly began to trust Mary. As he let down his guard, he shared the terrifying experiences he had endured during the war and the profound emptiness that consumed him upon returning home. In turn, Mary spoke of her brother Michael, whose loss had left an indelible mark on her heart. One evening, Mary came home with a stack of papers in her hands. "John, I found some options for clinics that offer treatment for veterans. I think it would be good for you to consider this possibility," she said, her smile full of encouragement and hope. John took the papers, his eyes scanning the information carefully. "Thank you, Mary. I appreciate everything you're doing for me, but I don't even know where to start," he confessed, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "You don't have to do this alone. I'll be here to help," Mary assured him, gently holding his hand to convey her unwavering support. With Mary's encouragement, John began attending a local clinic that specialized in psychological treatment and support for veterans. Slowly but surely, he started to make significant strides in his recovery. His self-esteem began to rebuild, and a renewed sense of hope took root in his heart. One day, while tidying up the house, Mary came across an old family photo. As she gazed at the image of Michael, her younger brother, a wave of sadness washed over her. She felt a deep longing to share this piece of her past with John. "John, I want to show you something," Mary said, her voice trembling slightly as she handed him the photo. "This is my brother Michael. Losing him was one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure." John looked at the photo and then back at Mary, sensing the depth of her pain. "I'm so sorry, Mary," he said softly, his empathy evident. Mary took a deep breath, her eyes moist with unshed tears. "Thank you, John. Sharing this with you means a lot to me. Michael was always full of life and dreams. Losing him left a void that I've never been able to fill." John nodded, his own heart aching for the sisterly love that Mary had lost. "I understand, Mary. I've lost so much too. But maybe, just maybe, we can help each other heal." In the days that followed, their bond grew even stronger. Mary continued to support John as he attended his therapy sessions, and John became an integral part of her life. Their shared stories and mutual understanding brought them closer, creating a unique and profound connection that healed their wounded hearts. Together, they discovered that through love, support, and the courage to face their pasts, they could build a future filled with hope and resilience. Their journey was not just about survival, but about finding joy and meaning in each other's company, proving that even in the darkest times, compassion and understanding could light the way. "John, there's something I need to share about my brother Michael," Mary began, her voice trembling with emotion. "He disappeared many years ago. Every time I see someone homeless, I can't help but think of him." John looked closely at the photo she handed him and felt a pang of recognition. "Mary, I think I've seen your brother. A few years ago, he was on the streets in a nearby city." Mary's eyes widened in shock. "Are you sure? How was he?" John nodded solemnly. "I don't know where he is now, but he was alive the last time I saw him. He seemed to be searching for someone," he replied, his voice filled with sadness. A whirlwind of hope and fear surged through Mary. If Michael was still alive, she had to find him, but where should she begin? Seeing the determination in Mary's eyes, John resolved to help her in the search. Together, they embarked on a mission to find Michael. They visited shelters, spoke with social workers, and plastered posters around the city. The search was grueling, but Mary refused to give up. Each small clue, no matter how insignificant, ignited a flicker of hope. One rainy afternoon, as they trudged through the city streets, they encountered a man who recognized Michael. He informed them that Michael was staying at a nearby shelter, but was very ill. Filled with a mixture of anxiety and anticipation, Mary and John rushed to the shelter. Upon arrival, they were led to a small, dimly lit room where Michael lay. Mary could barely believe her eyes. Her brother was there, frail and weakened, but undeniably him. "Michael, it's me, Mary. I'm here," she said, tears streaming down her face. Michael slowly opened his eyes, his voice barely above a whisper. "Mary, is it you?" "Yes, "It's me. I came to get you. You're going to be okay now," Mary replied, clasping his hand tightly, her heart full of relief and love. John stood by, witnessing the emotional reunion with tears in his eyes. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing he had played a part in this miraculous moment. Mary and John vowed to ensure Michael received the care he needed, their bond strengthened by the journey they had shared. In the days that followed, Michael began his slow road to recovery. With Mary's unwavering support and John's friendship, he found the strength to heal. Their story spread, inspiring others to act with compassion and reminding everyone that love and determination could triumph even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Together they faced the future with renewed hope, knowing that no matter how difficult the path, the power of family, friendship, and unwavering belief in one another could light their way. John watched the reunion between Mary and Michael with a heart full of gratitude. Despite his struggles, he realized he had found a family and a sense of purpose. With the unwavering support of Mary and John, Michael was transferred to a hospital where he received the essential care he desperately needed. As days turned into weeks, Michael gradually began to heal, and the siblings' relationship blossomed anew. Mary continued to support John in his recovery journey while tending to Michael's needs. The presence of these two men brought a renewed sense of fulfillment into her life, and for the first time in years, she felt a deep and abiding peace. Inspired by Mary's relentless determination and compassion, John felt a strong desire to give back the help he had received. He began searching for a job, eager to reintegrate into society and stand on his own 2 feet. With Mary's assistance, he secured an interview at a small local business. "Are you ready for this?" Mary asked, her voice filled with encouragement on the morning of the interview. John nodded confidently. "Yes, I am. No matter what happens, I'm grateful to you for giving me this chance." The interview went exceptionally well, and John was offered the job. He returned home with a triumphant smile, feeling that he was finally on the right path. Mary and John continued to support each other, helping not only Michael but also reaching out to others in their community. Their story of resilience and kindness spread, inspiring many to act with greater compassion and empathy. As John settled into his new role, he and Mary dedicated themselves to helping others in need. They visited shelters, offered support, and shared their experiences, fostering a sense of hope and community. The bond between Mary and John grew stronger with each passing day, and their combined efforts brought about tangible change in the lives they touched. Through love, understanding, and unwavering support, Mary and John demonstrated that it was possible to transform lives and find redemption. Their journey was a testament to the power of human connection and the profound impact of kindness. Together, they created a ripple effect of goodwill that extended far beyond their own lives, proving that with compassion and determination, even the deepest wounds could begin to heal. Over time, the lives of Mary, John, and Michael began to stabilize. John adapted well to his new job, finding a sense of fulfillment and routine. Michael, although still frail, showed encouraging signs of recovery. The small circle of friendship and support they had formed became a vital source of strength and comfort for all three of them. One afternoon, as John was returning from work, he decided to stop by a local cafe. Seated in a quiet corner, he savored a rare moment of tranquility. Suddenly, he overheard someone mention the name Megan. His heart skipped a beat. Megan was the name of his daughter, whom he hadn't seen in years. Intrigued, he approached the table where two women were deep in conversation. "Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear you mention Megan. May I ask who you're talking about?" The women looked up, surprised, but saw the sincerity in John's eyes. One of them responded, "Megan is my niece. She lives here in the city but has been struggling since her mother passed away. Why do you ask?" A wave of emotions washed over John. Could this be his Megan? With his heart racing, he said, "Please, could you tell me more? I'm her father. We lost touch years ago." The women were taken aback, but one of them, moved by the genuine anguish in John's voice, decided to help. She gave him Megan's address, hoping he truly was who he claimed to be. John rushed home, a whirlwind of emotions. He found Mary in the kitchen and quickly explained what had happened. "Mary, I think I found a lead on my daughter. We need to go to this address." Mary, ever ready to support him, grabbed the car keys. They drove to the older part of the city, where the houses seemed heavy with stories and memories. Upon reaching the address, John hesitated, his nerves getting the best of him. Mary, sensing his anxiety, gave his hand a reassuring squeeze. "We'll go together, John. No matter what happens, we're here for you." With a deep breath, they approached the door and knocked. A young woman opened it, her eyes strikingly reminiscent of John's late wife. "Megan," John asked, his voice trembling with hope. The young woman looked at him with a mix of curiosity and recognition. "Dad," she whispered, her eyes welling up with tears. "It's you," John said, his voice breaking as he stepped forward, embracing his daughter for the first time in years. The reunion was filled with tears and heartfelt words, the years of separation melting away in that moment. Mary stood back, watching with tears in her eyes, feeling an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. This was the beginning of a new chapter for all of them. In the days that followed, Megan became a part of their small, supportive circle. John, Mary, and Michael found even greater strength in their growing family. Together, they faced the future with renewed hope and the comforting knowledge that no matter how difficult the journey, love and support could always lead them home. Their story continued to inspire others, a testament to the transformative power of compassion, resilience, and unwavering belief in one another. "Megan," John asked, his voice trembling with hope and anxiety. The young woman looked at him, confusion etched on her face but curiosity growing in her eyes. "Yes, I'm Megan. Who are you?" "I'm your father, John. I know I've been gone for many years, but I've come back to find you." Megan stepped back, surprise and skepticism coloring her expression. "My father disappeared years ago. How do I know you're him?" John reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled photograph. It was an old picture of Megan, himself, and his wife, taken when Megan was just a child. "This was our family. Your mother took this picture on your 6th birthday. You had just received the doll you wanted so much." Megan stared at the photo, a flood of forgotten memories washing over her. Tears welled up in her eyes as she recognized the truth in John's words. "Dad," she said, her voice breaking. They embraced, both crying as years of separation and pain dissolved in their tears. Mary watched the emotional scene, her heart swelling with joy at yet another life being transformed. As they sat down together, Megan recounted her story. After John disappeared, life had been incredibly hard for her and her mother. They moved frequently, and her mother never recovered from the loss. When her mother passed away, Megan found herself alone, struggling to survive. "I'm so sorry for everything you went through, Megan. I was lost, but now I'm here, and I promise I'll never leave you alone again," John vowed, his voice filled with renewed determination. In the days that followed, John and Megan began to rebuild their relationship. Mary, ever supportive, helped to strengthen this new family bond. However, an unexpected challenge soon emerged. One day, while Mary was at work in the grocery store, a tall, imposing man entered. He exuded a cold, calculating demeanor that put Mary on edge. Trying to maintain her composure, Mary approached to serve him. "I need to talk to you, Mary," the man said, his voice carrying an authoritative tone. "Sorry, do I know you?" she asked, masking her apprehension. You don't know me, but I know you. I also know you're helping John. My name is Richard. John witnessed something he shouldn't have seen, and I'm here to make sure he doesn't cause trouble." A chill ran down Mary's spine. "What do you mean?" Richard's smile was devoid of warmth. "Just tell John the first I'm in town, and that he should stay silent about what he saw, or there will be consequences." Mary watched in stunned silence as Richard left the store. Fear and worry gnawed at her insides. When she got home, she found John and Megan and recounted the unsettling encounter. John turned pale, his face a mask of dread. "Richard is a dangerous man," John explained, his voice shaking. "I saw him involved in something illegal before I ended up on the streets. If he's here, it means he's serious about silencing me." Mary felt a surge of protective resolve. "We need to figure out a way to keep you safe," she said firmly. "We'll face this together, just like we have with everything else." The days that followed were tense, but the bond between Mary, John, and Megan only grew stronger. They knew they had to stay vigilant and find a way to deal with Richard's threat. Their unity and determination would be their greatest weapon against the danger lurking in the shadows. Richard, once a significant part of my life, had taken a dark turn by immersing himself in illicit activities. The devastating moment I uncovered his attempts to silence me shattered my world. In my desperate escape, everything I once knew crumbled around me. Amidst this chaos, Mary clung tightly to John's hand, her voice trembling with determination. "We can't let him terrorize us any longer. We must take a stand." John understood the peril of confronting Richard, but with the unwavering support of Mary and Megan, he felt a surge of strength and resolve. Together, they made the courageous decision to go to the authorities. Revealing the full extent of Richard's sinister deeds and seeking the protection they so desperately needed. Their bold choice to expose Richard's wrongdoings unleashed a torrent of fear and uncertainty, but it also drew in a wave of solidarity from their community. The bravery of John, Mary, and Megan inspired others to step forward, leading the police to initiate a thorough investigation into Richard's corrupt operations. Despite the daunting challenges that lay ahead, the trio found solace and fortitude in their united front, bound by an unbreakable chain of love and courage. Each day presented a new struggle, but it also brought a renewed sense of hope and an opportunity to prove that redemption and justice were within their reach. In their hearts, they knew that their fight was not just for themselves, but for the triumph of truth and righteousness. The decision to approach the authorities plunged Mary, John, and Megan into a whirlpool of anxiety and anticipation. Each subsequent day was a delicate balance between apprehension and optimism. Recognizing the gravity of the accusations against Richard, the police swiftly placed the family under protective custody. Nonetheless, the ominous shadow of Richard's threat loomed ever present. One serene morning, as Mary brewed coffee, she glanced over at John, who was absorbed in the newspaper at the kitchen table. His furrowed brow betrayed his growing unease, and Mary could sense the weight of the mounting pressure. She walked over and gently rested her hand on his shoulder, her touch a beacon of reassurance. "We'll navigate this storm together, John. The police and our community stand with us," she said, her voice filled with determined optimism. John looked up, gratitude shimmering in his eyes. "I know, Mary, but the thought of Richard's retribution terrifies me. He's a formidable adversary." Megan, having overheard their conversation, joined them at the table. "Dad, we must remain steadfast. I've already faced losing you once, and I refuse to go through that pain again. We need to stand our ground." Her resolve was infectious. John felt a surge of renewed courage, bolstered by his daughter's unwavering spirit. He knew the path ahead was fraught with danger, but he was prepared to confront Richard head-on. That afternoon, the phone rang. It was the detective leading their case. Progress had been made, and substantial evidence against Richard had been uncovered. The detective recommended that John, Mary, and Megan prepare to testify in court. The day of the trial arrived in what felt like the blink of an eye. Mary, John, and Megan took their seats on the witness stand, surrounded by a sea of supportive friends and neighbors. Across the room, Richard sat with a chilling, disdainful smile etched on his face. The prosecutor commenced by presenting a compelling case against Richard, unveiling a sordid web of criminal activities that included money laundering and extortion. The courtroom buzzed with tension as the evidence piled up against Richard. Each revelation brought a mix of relief and horror to Mary, John, and Megan. Despite the fear, they felt a glimmer of hope as they realized that justice might finally be within their grasp. Their courage in facing this ordeal, supported by their community's unwavering solidarity, underscored their resilience and determination to overcome the darkness that Richard had cast over their lives. John was summoned to the witness stand to share his account. He meticulously detailed his journey, starting from his initial partnership with Richard to the horrifying moment he uncovered the truth and had to flee for his safety. As John relayed his experiences, Mary was overwhelmed with pride. He was confronting his deepest fears and playing a crucial role in seeking justice. When John concluded his testimony, a palpable silence enveloped the courtroom. Yet Richard wasn't about to surrender easily. He began to mock John, attempting to undermine his credibility. John has always been a failure. He's concocting this story to mask his incompetence, Richard sneered with utter contempt. Mary, unable to remain silent, stood up, her voice resolute and unwavering. John is a courageous man who has confronted his adversities head-on and is here today to reveal the truth. It is you, Richard, who is attempting to conceal your heinous crimes. The judge demanded silence in the courtroom, but Mary's powerful words had already left a significant impact. Her impassioned defense of John fortified the case against Richard. After several days of intense testimonies and the presentation of damning evidence, the moment of truth finally arrived. The jury returned with a verdict. Richard was found guilty on all counts. The courtroom erupted in applause, a cathartic release of pent-up tension and relief. John felt an enormous burden lifted from his shoulders. Turning to Mary and Megan, tears of relief and joy glistened in his eyes. "We did it," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Mary embraced him, her heart swelling with immense gratitude. Megan joined the hug, and the three of them stood united, basking in a moment that marked the end of a harrowing ordeal and the dawn of a new beginning. With Richard behind bars, life slowly began to regain a sense of normalcy for John, Mary, and Megan. John continued working diligently and attended his therapy sessions, each step a testament to his resilience. Mary and Megan stood unwaveringly by his side, showering him with unconditional love and support. One sunny afternoon, as they strolled through the park, John paused, looking deeply into Mary and Megan's eyes. "I never thought I could find peace and happiness again, but you both have given me that. I'm eternally grateful," he said, his smile genuine and heartfelt. Mary squeezed his hand gently. "You deserve all the happiness in the world, John. We're here to build a bright future together." Megan, her face glowing with a smile, added, "And nothing can stop us now." Though the future was still uncertain, the bond between Mary, John, and Megan gave them the strength to face any challenges. They were committed to continuing their mission of transforming lives and spreading hope wherever they went. With Richard's shadow no longer looming over them, their lives entered a phase of tranquility and reconstruction. The community, too, began to heal from the aftermath of Richard's crimes, finding solace in the renewed spirit of unity. The trio found immense comfort in their daily routines and the unwavering support they provided each other. John excelled in his role at the small local business, earning the respect and admiration of his colleagues. His journey became a source of inspiration for many, and he often offered guidance and support to veterans and vulnerable individuals in the community. John's story of overcoming adversity resonated deeply, making him a beloved figure. Mary, meanwhile, channeled her compassion and determination into helping those in need. She started organizing community events to raise funds and resources for the homeless, and her efforts received widespread recognition. Her tireless work earned her several honors, and she became a beacon of hope and kindness. Megan, inspired by her parents' strength and dedication, became actively involved in volunteer work, further spreading the message of love and resilience. Together they faced each new day with a renewed sense of purpose, their hearts filled with gratitude and hope. They knew that with each other's support, they could overcome any obstacle and continue to make a positive impact on the lives of those around them. Their story was one of redemption, love, and the unbreakable power of family. One day, Mary felt a spark of inspiration ignite within her. She gathered John and Megan in the living room, her eyes alight with excitement. "I have an idea," she said, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. "What if we open a community center to help homeless people and veterans like you?" John and Megan exchanged surprised but eager glances. "That would be incredible," John replied, his voice filled with hope. "We could offer shelter, meals, and reintegration programs," Megan nodded energetically. "I could handle the administrative tasks and organize fundraising events. It would be a beautiful way to give back everything we've received." With their hearts set on this new mission, they began working tirelessly on the project. They rallied the support of the community and various local organizations. Before long, they secured a location for the community center and began renovations. The opening of the center was a deeply emotional event. Friends, neighbors, and many who had been touched by Mary, John, and Megan's story gathered to show their support. They named the community center House of Hope, a fitting name that encapsulated the journey and spirit of everyone involved. During the opening ceremony, John delivered a heartfelt speech. "Life can knock us down in ways we never imagined, but with love, support, and determination, we can rise again. This center stands as a testament that redemption and hope are always within reach," he said, his voice trembling with emotion, tears glistening in his eyes. Mary, holding John's hand, added, "Everyone deserves a second chance, and here at House of Hope, we will offer that to everyone who needs it." The room was filled with applause and tears of joy. The House of Hope quickly became a beacon of light in the community. It offered not only physical support but also emotional and psychological healing. John found immense satisfaction in mentoring veterans, drawing from his own experiences to guide and inspire them. Mary continued to organize events and programs that brought the community together, fostering a sense of unity and compassion. Megan's dedication to the administrative side ensured that the center ran smoothly and efficiently, allowing them to maximize their impact. As days turned into months, the House of Hope transformed countless lives, providing a haven for those in need. Mary, John, and Megan's bond grew even stronger as they worked side by side, their hearts filled with the joy of giving and the knowledge that they were making a profound difference. Their journey, once fraught with fear and uncertainty, had blossomed into a mission of love and service, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope and redemption are always possible. The community center swiftly became a sanctuary for those in dire need. It provided hot meals, shelter, rehabilitation programs, and job opportunities. Mary, John, and Megan were always there, dedicated to bettering the lives of everyone who walked through the doors. Michael, despite his gradual recovery, also found his calling at the center. He worked in the kitchen, preparing meals and engaging with visitors. The harrowing experience of nearly losing everything and then rediscovering purpose profoundly changed him, and he was eager to share his newfound perspective with others. As time went on, the House of Hope evolved into more than just a shelter. It became a thriving community where people found support, friendship, and a fresh start. The inspirational stories of Mary, John, and Megan attracted attention far and wide, drawing donations and volunteers from across the country. A year after the center's inauguration, Mary, John, Megan, and Michael gathered for a celebratory dinner. The room buzzed with laughter and lively conversation as they reflected on their achievements and the lives they had touched. Who could have imagined that a cold night and the decision to help a stranger would bring us to this point, Mary mused, glancing at John. John smiled, squeezing Mary's hand. You transformed my life, Mary, and together we've transformed the lives of so many others. I am eternally grateful. Megan, her eyes twinkling with joy, added, We are a family, and together we can face any challenge that comes our way. Though the future remained uncertain, Mary, John, Megan, and Michael were confident that with love and support, they could overcome any obstacle. They were committed to their mission of transforming lives and spreading hope wherever they went. The House of Hope's message was clear: everyone deserves a chance at redemption, and with compassion and determination, lives can be transformed. The journey of Mary, John, Megan, and Michael was a testament to the power of love and understanding, capable of healing the deepest wounds and bringing light to the darkest moments. Their story of redemption and hope continued to inspire generations, demonstrating that together we can build a better world. Each day at the House of Hope was a new opportunity to make a difference, to extend a helping hand, and to nurture the seeds of change in every heart they touched. Their unwavering commitment to kindness and resilience ensured that the spirit of the House of Hope would endure, fostering a legacy of compassion and unity for years to come. As we conclude this incredible journey of resilience, love, and transformation, we invite you to reflect on the powerful story of Mary, John, Megan, and Michael. Their unwavering dedication to turning adversity into hope and their commitment to helping others serve as a beacon of inspiration for us all. What have you learned from their story? Please take a moment to share one thing that has inspired you and that you will put into practice in your own life. Your reflections are invaluable and can inspire others to make positive changes too. If you liked this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more uplifting and inspiring content. Together we can spread hope and make a difference in the world. Thank you for watching.